Raising kids who are respectful. That's what we're talking about today. Thank you for watching. Why are you wanting to raise a child that is respectful? Let's address that before I share with you my 3 tips on how you can be raising a child to be more respectful. So let's ask ourselves why? Why? In our generation, or in the way that I know I was brought up, being respectful to my parents was something that was expected. And as I think about it, I recognize that that was instilled in us from fear. That's how we were raised. That's how so many of us in our generation were raised, with fear. That was fear-based parenting, where discipline, having a disciplined child and a child that respected the parents was something that we did out of fear of our child, of our parent being upset with us. And let's look at what's happening with on our parenting journey. We are not able to put that onto our kids, and if we did, we would be risking their self-esteem. We would be risking them recognizing their own worthiness, which unfortunately many of us, as parents today, have risked our own worthiness. I know for myself, I had to question so much about my own upbringing, and question about the fear that was instilled, and with no disrespect to my parents, because they were doing the absolute best that they knew how to. And many of the parents in that generation uh, raise their kids from these beliefs, from these set ways of instilling respect and discipline using fear. And it's not how we are able to effectively raise our kids today, because so many of our kids are resisting that. However, we have an expectation to raise our kids to respect us, and we question our own parenting when our kids are being disrespectful and not listening to us, because we were raised in that environment. It was what was expected. And there's this big gap here, and we can't accept that our kids are not respecting us like we respected our parents. What's wrong? Or what am I as a parent not doing right? So I'm here to tell you that we need a shift in mindset around parenting. We need to recognize what is our real goal. Who are we trying to raise? Are we raising kids who are filled with fear? Is that what we deliberately want to do? Or are we choosing to raise kids who believe in themselves, who are going to set boundaries as adults in their own adult life, and more importantly, who are going to choose to respect us? So, which takes me to the first tip that I have for you, and that is tip number 1: to raise your child to be more respectable to you, is to change the question that arises in your mind when your child is being disrespectful. For example, when your child is being disrespectful, what is the question that comes to your mind? Is it that, why is my child being so disrespectful? Why is my child being disobedient? Why is my child so difficult? Why is my child challenging? Um, Share with me in the comment section, what are the questions that come to your mind as your child plays out their disrespectful ways? Are you concerned that your child is not going to thrive in society if it doesn't have this basic way of respecting uh, its elders, respecting people that care for them? Or do you find yourself saying, my child is being raised so entitled because I give them everything that they need, and here they can't even respect or have value for what I offer them? So as we ask these questions, and ask new questions such as, how can I raise my child to choose to be more respectful to me? How can I raise my child to choose to be respectful? So there's power in the questions that we ask. As we ask these questions that have a positive ring to it, that have a seeking for a solution that is conducive, that has an emotion behind it, that is not disappointment or anger or frustration or judgment of your own self. So that which brings me to the second tip, which is address the emotion that comes up in you. So as your child is playing out this role, let's address what's coming up within us. Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling frustration come up? Are you feeling annoyance? Are you feeling disappointment in your child? Are you feeling disappointment in yourself? So tip number 2 is address the emotion. And from there, we choose the emotion that we want to feel. So as we choose the question from tip number 1, how can I choose? How can I get my child to choose to respect me? The emotion that we can choose from that space comes from a space of a positive thought, comes from an idea that I am not raising my child in a fear-based environment. I'm choosing to raise my child with respect myself. So having respect for your child and accepting an emotion that comes from acceptance and from love, accepting where your desire for them to be more respectful comes from. So a love and acceptance of yourself and your own upbringing and your own desire for your child to act differently. And from that space of loving and accepting yourself, we are able to love and accept our child exactly where they are at and choose for a new outcome to play out. Which then takes me to the third point, and that is the third tip, and that is setting expectation. So have a clear expectation of how you would love for your child to act in a given situation and guide them through that. When we have love and acceptance of where they are at and what brought them to this point, as we have love and acceptance of what brought us to the point of needing this respect that we are seeking. So with love, kindness, and acceptance of ourselves, we give that to them, because guess what? We cannot give what we don't have. So it's important for us to go on that journey of our own self-awareness, which I may add is what empowered parenting is about. It's about allowing parents to choose to claim back their own power, to recognize that how they feel, their anger, their frustration, to release it, to almost unplug the sources that are external that lead us to feel these emotions and bring it back to ourselves. Your child is not responsible, or you are choosing to give your power away to your child by making them responsible for your anger and your frustration. Unplug. That's not a source that we want your child's moods and your partner's moods, or the people around you, for their unaddressed emotions to be a source of your discomfort. So it's a very powerful space to parent from when you bring back the responsibility to yourself. And how does that happen? That happens by raising our own awareness, our own self-awareness of what determines, or asking the right questions. Like, where has this need, for example, this need for my child to act in a certain way come from? It's come from my own upbringing. What is valid today, and what is not valid today, that's come from the past? Where is this need for my own validation that's probably been unmet from the way I was parented? Was I suppressed? Did I not have that love and connection with my parents that I am seeking to give to my kids? So do I need to learn new ways today so I can give my child what I wish I had, and give them a sense of this wholeness that I want them to feel within themselves. I don't want them giving their power away to their friends or to people that are not recognizing their worthiness. I want them to own who they are through their own self-awareness, and for them to have that, I need to first give that to myself. And that's what the empowered parenting journey is about. And which brings me to an event that I am running on the 10th and 11th of July. On the 10th is our in-person is our online event, and on the 11th is our in-person event, and it's called Parenting with Ease. Look in the comment section. I'm sharing with you where and how you can be a part of this event. It's absolutely free. If you think that this journey is for you, if you would love to raise your own self-awareness so that you can parent your child without being so attached to your own emotions that have not been addressed, and be able to parent your child with the power that comes from within you, that comes from your own worthiness, that comes from questioning where this unhappiness or this lack of congruence or this space where your child isn't acting in the way you want them to, because we have the power within us to create the reality that we experience within our kids. The incongruence that we feel in our parenting journey comes from or has its roots where we can fix it within ourselves. And that's what I invite you to join us on the Empowered Parenting Journey. Come and find out what we're about. Join our group, the Empowered Parents Group, and raise your own self-awareness. All of this is for free. It is free to join our group. It is free to come to our event. Because that's what parents are always doing the absolute best that we can, given the knowledge that we have. And so we take back our responsibility to raise and increase our knowledge so that we can do the absolute best that we can for our kids. And guess what? This is the best gift that we can give our kids. A parent that is self-aware, a parent that is not attaching their anger and their frustration externally to their kids and those around them, but to take responsibility and to do it with utmost kindness, compassion, and love and acceptance of themselves, because from that space, they are able to give it to those around them. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you at one of our events or on our group. See you.